Well, I think it's pretty important to understand what you are trying to achieve. What are your goals in life? Are you working 80-hour weeks and you don't have time for a girlfriend? Are you just looking for a one night stand with a girl with the possibility of maybe making her a girlfriend, maybe making her a wife? Are you at the point in your life where you decide it's time to have kids and find a wife? What are you trying to achieve? Do you want to just go out and socialize? A lot of guys just want to go out, socialize, meet some new people, and have some fun. Having an understanding on what you are trying to achieve is very important. It seems like it's kind of common sense. I totally understand. You're probably thinking this is common sense. But how many men go out and don't really have any sort of a goal? So understanding where you're at and what you are trying to achieve is by far the most important thing. There's a lot of guys that are like a leaf in the wind. The wind blows and they go with it, and they think it's fate, or they watch too many Hollywood movies and they don't really, they think that let's just make it happen. Let's just be myself. And I will just see what happens. If it happens, it happens. But if you think like that and you don't have a proper goal or anything that you're trying to achieve, well, you're not in control. And so the goal is to have some sort of a plan and execute on that plan. And then you have a little bit more control over your dating life. So I'm going to go through a few things that I ask every time that I go out. But before we kick it off, I'm Dave, and this channel is dedicated to giving you no bullshit, novel dating advice for the modern man. My book has now been completed, and I've also got coaching if you're interested in coaching. That's all in the description. So, 5 things that you definitely should ask when you're going out. And I definitely start with this first one. It's not really a question. It's more about testing and screening for neuroticism. It is very important. Let's just assume that you are the most high value man in the club, or in the daytime. You could meet her anywhere. You meet a girl, you think she's attractive, and you want to get to know her. How can you do that to make sure and you screen for craziness? I think screening for craziness, screening for neuroticism is very important. I'm not a unintelligent guy, but what I will often do is when I first meet a girl that I find attractive and I want to test her, teasing a little bit. Little tiny teasers, poke around, tease her a little tiny bit and see how she deals with it. Test her. And come across a little bit playful and not necessarily unintelligent, but not like almost a little bit childish, and poke and test her a little bit and see how she deals with it. If she shows a bit of aggression straight away, a little bit of neuroticism, she tells you some things that just are a little bit scary, like she has some issues at home, she tells you some drama that she's found herself in. Next, it's time to next that girl and avoid any sort of craziness, because it doesn't matter how attracted you are to her, it is better to just avoid neurotic, semi-crazy girls. And you can test that really easy by just teasing her, poking around, seeing how she deals with it. And if she can't deal with a little bit of jokiness, a little bit of teasing, get out of there. That's definitely first thing. And then I just go into a little bit of small talk. Small talk is very important, I think. And small talk is then where you get a basic understanding of where they're at up here, where she is in her life, and how her mind reacts. And generally, how you going? What are you up to tonight? The general type of small chit-chat type of questions, and let her try to lead. Ask more questions, then don't just make a lot of statements. Ask a few more questions and get to know her just a little bit, and see what type of girl and where her mindset is. If she starts leading it down a certain path that you don't find very appealing, it's time to next her as well. If she's passed the neurotic, crazy test, and then she starts talking about things like, just say for instance, you are just looking to have some fun, be social, and maybe have a one night stand. She starts talking about children and how all of her friends are having babies and how she wants to have a baby, and there's probably a reason why she starts talking about that with you at some random guy in the club. Then you start to think, okay, maybe she's the next. Maybe let's move on and speak to someone else. These are the two phases of the interaction where you're trying to feel out and screen for girls to avoid. And I think that is very, very important. Then what I would do is I'll go into, okay, so when are you leaving? When are you leaving and who are you with? These are two very important things. So for instance, if she straight away goes, oh, I might be leaving soon, I've got to get home to my children, my husband's just over there. It's another screening form of questioning. When are you going and who are you here with? If she says she's at a bachelorette party or something along those lines, and she's out with the girls, and after this they're going back to some hotel and you're looking for a one night stand and they're all going back there, or she's with a husband, or she says she's with a boyfriend, that's not really going to play out so well, is it? So the third one really is trying to really feel if she is available and how long is she there. When is she leaving is also a very good question, who she's with, because just say for instance 6 a.m. in the morning she's flying out to South America. She's only here for a few more hours. She's got her backpack locked up somewhere in a locker, and she's just waiting in the club until 6 a.m. for a flight to leave the country. If you're looking for a girlfriend, well, in literally a couple of hours time, 6 hours time probably, she's out of there. So and also if you're looking for a wife, obviously that's not going to work out, but if you're looking for even a one night stand, how are you going to make that happen in such a short period of time? Well, when she's flying out in 6 hours, probably has to be at the airport soon. She might also say, I need to leave very soon, I'm with my two friends over there, we live 2 hours away. If she lives logistically too far away, or she has a wife, or she's a wife, or she's a girlfriend and the boyfriend or the husband are at the club, obviously that's not going to pan out too well if you're romantically interested in her. Another factor is obviously that if she's 2 hours away, you need to think about it. How can I fit into her life? Only you know your schedule. Only you know what you do the entire week. But you don't know what she does. So then I would move into, okay, well, what does she get up to during the week? And try to figure out if you and her can somehow... how can you fit into her life, or how can she fit into your life? Only you know what you do during the week, day to day, and getting a general understanding as to what she does is very, very important, I think. When you've gone through the time constraint, if she has a little bit more time, she's obviously single at that point, then you go into, okay, well, how can our lives fit together? What you are kind of doing at this stage is, it's not really something that women do. The best sign that a woman will show you, generally she'll say, oh, I'm free tonight and I'm bored. And she'll kind of hint, okay, well, I got time, and she'll leave it out there. It'll be dangling for you to, the carrot will be dangling for you to take it. It's your job really to find out how your lives mesh and whether you guys are compatible when it comes to that. So just say, for instance, you're working 40-hour weeks Monday to Friday, and you don't have time Monday to Friday for a girlfriend. Maybe you're doing 50 or 60-hour weeks. You're trying to climb the corporate ladder. You don't have any time. But she works in a restaurant and a cafe Saturday and Sunday. She's working Saturday and Sunday when you're off work, and her day off is when you're at work. you guys are just not compatible. How can that possibly work out? What if she's doing her final exams, or she's in the final exams of a university, or she's got some massive essays to hand in, or things like that over the next month or two. There's a very good chance that your lives are not really compatible. You have a little bit of a conversation and find out that she's about to finish up at her job, or she just got a new job in another country, and in 6 months time she's going to fly out. If you're trying to turn her into a girlfriend, well, your lives aren't really compatible. So the next phase, really, and literally, I understand it, you're just speaking to her for a couple of minutes, but if you can gather all this information in such a short period of time, if she passes all of these tests and you get to the point where you realize, okay, well, in 6 months time she's going to go, in 6 hours time she's going to fly out, you save yourself a lot of heartache and a lot of time wastage and trouble getting to know that girl, and you can just go next. You're in an environment all the time surrounded by beautiful women everywhere you go. You don't really need to be trying to make something happen that in reality is not going to happen. And so just making life a little bit easier for yourself by having a goal, having a general understanding on what you want out of your relationships and your social life in general, having a general roadmap as to what you're trying to do, and then screening through all of these stages what you're trying to get out of a girl that you've just met. And then if you guys are not compatible, next until you find someone that you are compatible with. And that's really the goal out here, is to make something happen. But again, if you're just out to have some fun, go out, have some fun, joke around with people and socialize, hang out with your buddies, have a few drinks, just be social and enjoy your life if that's what you're trying to achieve. But don't go home at the end of the night and be upset that you didn't make anything happen. Well, that's because, well, you did want something to happen and you weren't honest with yourself. So I think that it's important to have a general understanding on what you're trying to achieve and work towards that in a methodical way, so that there's no real disappointment at the end of the night or at the end of the weekend. So if you like this video, make sure you click the subscribe button, click the bell icon if you like what I'm trying to do here. As I said before, if you want some coaching with me, the form's in the description, and you can sign up to some coaching. And I'll see you guys next week, next day, tomorrow. See you later.